Again, I'm mad. You get down with my girlfriend. That ain't right. Good afternoon, Bahamas, and welcome to the Hit Back. I'm your host, Nahaja Black. It is a beautiful day here in the 242. I hope that everybody's doing well, that you're taking care of yourself, that you are loving on yourself, making sure that you are finding out it and really in tune with who you are as a person today, that you are figuring out what you need and what you don't need, who you need and who you don't need. This is that kind of season. Make sure that you love yourself. Loving yourself means knowing yourself. You can't love somebody you really don't know. You can be infatuated, but love is deeper. So if you think you're in love with someone and you don't know who that person is, you're in for a rude awakening. So how can you love yourself unless you know who you are? We got a big day of show for you. This entire week is going to be filled with, I think, very insightful conversations. And that's what I'm hoping to do this week. I've got, I got a good mix for you this week. But I'm talking with the supposed intellectuals this week. So tomorrow we're going to have a discussion with Dr. Chris Curry and Dr. Nyambi Campbell Hall. We're going to be talking about white supremacy in a post-colonial model called the Bahamas. Is there white supremacy? Is that mantra still there? How did it work within the colonial system? How, if it's still around, how is it affecting how we do business, how we think about country and nation and our children and the way we treat each other? Does that affect us in any way? And then on Wednesday, we're going to be talking about cryptocurrencies, right? How do you get, where are we in that sphere of discussion and finances? How much and how impactful is it? Should we get involved? Should you jump into the cryptocurrency space? How much information education do we need? How much regulation do we need, if any? That kind of thing. And then on Thursday, we're going to be talking with Dr. Yvette Newry. And oh my goodness, I might have lost the blank there, but we're going to be talking about public administration, the structure of a functioning democracy, right? So that's going to be interesting as well. And then on Friday, we got a strong lineup on you. I would love to tell you exactly because I've forgotten, but it was supposed to be a great show. I just can't remember all of it. I know I've got the 5 guys again from the United States joining me. They had such a great time and there's so much conversation to be had. So I'm looking forward to that as well. My good friend C.A. Newry will be joining me today. Today on the show, we got to talk about the vaccine, right? The vaccine. We saw on yesterday, today is Monday. We saw yesterday that the Prime Minister took his shot. We saw the nice lady Nurse Ruth, gone ahead and get juck up. That's not the appropriate term I should use. She got that nice gentle stab in the arm. She was the first one, a soldier. Ruth is a soldier. Is it Ruth Dean? I can't remember her name, but she's deserving of commendation because she was a soldier to be the first out of the gate. We know that there are a lot of physicians and nurses who have still decided that they're still undecided on taking it. Then there was also something interesting. I got a letter, and up to this point, I hadn't confirmed it, but I'm almost certain that it's legitimate, but I will tell you about it after the break just to confirm it. It was a letter seemingly from the office of the Prime Minister, and it stated that doctors and dentists don't have to take PCR tests to go to the Family Islands. And I have to confirm that because my first reaction is, Well, what kind of national conk syndrome is this? The people who tend to get it most don't need to take the PCR test. So I need to have understanding and just to confirm that as well. Plus, if you've missed it, over the weekend, people was campaigning. Yeah, the Progressive Liberal Party was campaigning. Jomo Campbell, he and his group, they were campaigning in Centerville. And then young Mr. Cooler, man, listen, let me don't ruin that good man's last Christian name. Courtney for the Free National Movement. And the Prime Minister was with Courtney. The Prime Minister was out and about on the campaign trail. Hi, Amanda. Hello, Paulette. Karen, what you say? Everyone who's tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in. Listen, I don't know. So the prime minister was doing his own campaigning, and the brother had some choice words, and this ended up being a feud. Mind you, because the prime minister went ahead and shared some strong words, right? Greta, hello to you too. Strong words about how he feels about the Progressive Liberal Party the four that remain. The prime minister, I now see how he views them, and it wouldn't be right for me to say that. I don't believe it. Let me just let you hear the prime minister's words for yourself.
Senators must stay with the FNM. The PLP has had it for a long time, but now they are with us. We have no intention of losing any of our seats. During the last election, we campaigned on corruption. We tried to wipe them all out. 4 of the contaminants escaped. No more contaminants must remain.
4 of the contaminants escaped. You can't make this stuff up. The prime minister called them 4 contaminants. Let's play that one more time. Irene, one more time, because this is the Bahamas, right? One more time.
Senators must stay with the FNM. The PLP has had it for a long time, but now they are with us. We have no intention of losing any of our seats. During the last election, we campaigned on corruption. We tried to wipe them all out. 4 of the contaminants escaped. No more contaminants must remain.
And he was feeling so strong about that. No more contaminants will remain, right? Like that you can't beat that. And let me welcome my guest, my co-host with me today, my good friend CA Newry. CA, no more contaminants will remain. I thought that was a powerful line.
And it tells a tale, and it's a tale that we need to explore and ask what exactly is contaminant. Is he speaking about our prime minister? Is he speaking about the MPs who were duly elected and represent a constituent that the majority of the person those constituents support?
Yes.
And if they are contaminants,
yes,
what does that say about the persons who supports them and the persons who put their vote in X towards them? Surely they too are contaminants.
Man,
so it's beyond just a regular contaminant of 4. It's a contaminant of a couple thousand people, right? Those persons that we need to, liken to what the prime minister say, we need to get rid of, you know? And when you start using words like that, you see the seriousness of what exactly the prime minister purported. And you see that by him saying it, by him speaking to the electorate and the persons in that community, it tells a tale of woe. It tells a tale of how he sees people, and that needs to be corrected. Mind you, I don't believe the prime minister meant anything by it. It's political rhetoric.
What? You don't call people contaminant. How often have you used the word contaminant?
No. When
was the last time you used the word contaminant?
Not regularly.
Now, perhaps the prime minister may be using the word so much because he's been dealing with COVID, right? Maybe it's a PPE thing. I don't know. But you don't just wake up one moment, like one day. He's thought about that word a bit in context, I believe, to the fore. I think he's thought of that quite a bit because that came out very freely. He didn't hesitate.
It was a purposely used words to express a particular thought, and he expressed that. But it is silly season, right? So I don't take it personally for what the prime minister said. It was inappropriate, and because of the inappropriateness of it, you see the chairman of the PLP responded in kind.
Hold on now, wait, because I gotta get to that.
I can let you introduce that.
Go ahead.
He responded in kind in another inappropriate statement, showing how egregious the prime minister's words were. Because equally echoed. Is equally echoed, and it takes persons who want a better community, a better society, a better constituency, a better the Bahamas, the new Bahamas that we're speaking about post-COVID, to condemn and shun and say, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Chairman of the opposition, I do not approve. It was not nice. Take it back. Apologize to me.
Take it back.
I am not a contaminant.
Take it back.
Take it back. You know?
Take it back.
And forgive me for pontificating so much. I believe that if he doesn't want to take it back, he must explain how a person like Miss Glenys Hannah Martin is a contaminant for Engliston. She campaigned, she voted. What is it about her? What is it about her character? What is it about her person that is so egregious that she should be considered a contaminant? He needs to explain that so I can appreciate it.
Let's define it. A contaminant is a polluting or poisonous substance that makes something impure. Right?
Hannah Martin is poisonous. That's what he's trying to say.
And she's made something impure. She has ruined Engliston. She has contaminated society at large. She has poisoned. Well, not just she. Well, I wonder if Reese Chipman is now viewed as a contaminant.
He said I assume all of them because he's in Centerville and he wanted to regain keep that seat. So I'm assuming that Reese Chipman is also a contaminant, something poisonous for the nation.
Let me one more time. I'm gonna play that, and then I want to read again. Right, I want to read for the listening audience and for everyone who's tuning in what the response of the chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party. So listen. Well, you know what I would say before we go there, Cecil? I've never heard anyone in any side, either PLP or F&M, ever say we're going to have a clean campaign. You ever heard that?
No.
Now, I know that the chairman of the Free National Movement kind of wanted to say that, but then he quickly caught himself in there and admitted that they had websites.
No, that's not true. You know, that's not true. No.
Yeah. So
no, he never said that.
No, he didn't say they had websites.
No.
He said that. What did he say?
No, he didn't say that. No.
What did he say?
He said, if the government, if the opposition takes away Bahamas Press, that tabloid, he'll consider doing a clean campaign. But until then, it's all bets off. That's what he said. So I heard what you're trying to say he said, but no, he didn't say that. No.
I think he did say that. All right.
No. I have the recording. I forwarded it. Yeah, I forwarded it all over the place. I heard what he said.
All right, let's go. Let's see what we have here. You ready?
Centerville must stay with the F&M. The PLP has had it for a long time, but now they are with us. We have no intention of losing any of our seats. During the last election, we campaigned on corruption. We tried to wipe them all out. 4 of the contaminants escaped. No more contaminants must remain.
Actually, I think Fred has the audio. There's an audio. There's an audio of it.
Also?
Well, I'm not going to even read it then. We got to go to the audio. I would prefer to hear from. I've heard it. I would prefer Ollie, my producer Ollie. I'm sending it to you.
It should be interesting to hear his voice.
I would love to hear his voice. Ollie, I sent you the audio, Ollie. Let me know when you're ready to cue it, because I want folks to hear the audio of Fred Mitchell, not Smith. Lord, I'm trying to make somebody who ain't. Let me know when you're ready, Ollie. So the response then afterward was the prime minister. So Fred Mitchell then responds in kind and pretty much said the first line, as we wait for Ollie to cue the audio, and Ollie, you let me know exactly when that's done. The first line is, did Minna smell his top lip, in essence? What? Who says that about the prime minister? What?
Contaminants do that. When you're a contaminant, you can say anything.
When you're a contaminant, I guess you can poison everything, right?
Yep.
So, and you know what? I don't know if Arlie is ready to go. Arlie, let me know when you got it. But let me start with this line here. The prime minister must have smelled his top lip going into Centerville, talking utter nonsense by describing the 4 PLP members of parliament as contaminants. All right, Ollie's ready. Let's go, Ollie. Okay. He said, hang on a sec. All right. All right. So we still haven't got that one sorted out yet. So we'll get it sorted out in a minute. So he says, the prime minister must have smelled his top lip going into Centerville, talking utter nonsense by describing the 4 PLP members of parliament as contaminants. Since he has resorted to schoolyard tactics, name calling, and gutter political mudslinging, then he should go talk to his ma so she could tell him what a contaminant is.
I remember when I was younger, when I used to go to my mom and put questions to her and say, "Mom, what that means?" So sometimes I used to get that wet rag. Bop! Who tell you I asked that? No?
She did. Mom, but why? Then he should go talk to his ma. She could tell him what a contaminant is. Is he trying to say that his mother, that minister's mother, would look at him and see him as a contaminant? Is that what Fred is trying to imply? But Dr. Minnis is a contaminant?
But he said, ask for a second source.
We need another source. So Fred Mitchell continues. Here is a man who has got to be the worst prime minister in the country's history and the political idiot savant of the region's prime ministers, desperately seeking to deflect from his abject failures as prime minister through trash talking. My God, you say one thing called contaminant and all of a sudden all hell broke loose.
You see, I pick up my phone and go Google now. Sorry, go ahead.
So from contaminant, now Dr. Minnis has been called, it's been said that he must have smelled his top lip, that he needs to go talk to his ma, that he is an idiot savant and the worst prime minister in the region. Fred just went through all of the bad words, all of the things he could throw Dr. Minnis for contaminant. That just, whoa. All right, let's play it now. Here we go. No, Ali, not that one. Okay, that's another one. That's another one. Okay, we'll figure it out. So let's don't worry about that one. All right. So he goes, the country's standing in the region has declined under his watch. We are ranked near the bottom, both regionally and globally. With no airport, no hotel, and no jobs in Grand Bahama, Dr. Minnis has presided over the worst precipitous and spectacular decline in the economy. Unemployment is high. The people are suffering. People are going to bed hungry. The prime minister has no clue about how and no plan to fix and turn this economy around, but he has time to go into Centerville talking foolishness. If Dr. Minnis is as bold and as confident as he says he is, then he should call the snap general elections he discussed with SNP and allow the fed up Bahamian people to decide his fate. Boy, I tell you, these brothers petty. Now, and plus he brought back into the storyline the SNP rumor, right? So listen, this is the season we're in. Says wrong is wrong, none worse than the next. The PM should not have started it. They are his colleagues. Apparently, contaminants can't be your friend.
No.
I never see nobody sit up and close next to contaminant.
If you're contaminated and you sit next to me, I can tell you move.
That's it. I got to get all kind of extra spray. I don't sit next to contamination.
I heard a person coughed the other day. I get up.
People coughing around you?
Yes, I start spraying.
Mind you, I coughed around myself and got very concerned. So I don't do contaminants. I don't, and I don't think any person who has known and named contaminants are actually friends of contaminants.
No.
Right. So I don't see any bonding until after election, right? Because whoever loses got to go and snuggle up to the contaminated sheets. All right. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. My good friend C.A. Newry, Naomi said the PM is petty and spiteful. Someone said, y'all know Fred don't take laughs. Fred is not. Fred Mitchell, from one word, contaminants.
Yep.
Fred Mitchell threw the whole kitchen sink. Tell him, go talk to your ma. You smell your top lip. An idiot, my God, I would never pick a fight with Fred Mitchell. I would never pick a fight.
And also, as a person who appreciates the written word and the Bahamian vernacular, I can appreciate go smell your top lip. I having flashbacks of grade 6 at T.A. Thompson Primary School on top of the hill. When if someone called me anything, I say, that's your ma. God be talking to me. God gotta be your ma. And you said, you must smell your top lip. So I can appreciate such words. I having a flashback and nostalgia of what it is to be true Bahamian and to appreciate such words. But to hear it by leaders of the Bahamas and who I admire and acknowledge and see that they still use the primary school words, it makes me smile. It makes me smile, and perhaps it's something to celebrate. Because it Bahamianized this Westminster system, this colonial system, and make it more Bahamian. So I can give a positive spin on it.
It's definitely Bahamian. It ain't nothing else but Bahamian. I'm telling you now, we are living in the Bahamas, the place where God probably vacations now. But that there, and do you think he wanted to say, smell your top lip? Because you know.
But where else can one spell so close to your nose?
But we are Bahamian. There are other things. But anyways, so ladies and gentlemen, someone says all that's left to say is
CYC.
These people ain't saved. Bahamian, listen, I am looking forward to this. I don't know if we're going to get solutions coming out of this election cycle. We are going to get a lot of options. But I don't know if I'm confident with the fact that the PLP and the FNM have still remained the same. I don't know how to feel about it. But last election was very entertaining, Cecil. You know, we had great photo last election cycle. So Lord knows, Naomi says these campaigns are getting worse. All kinds of mudslinging. And the sad part is we haven't started yet. Snap elections, S&P rumors. But we will be back. When we come back, CA, we have joining us Kyle Wilson, president of the Bahamas, BPL.
BPL. Union.
Yeah. Bahamas Power and Light. So he'll be joining us. Say again?
He's a good union man.
Yeah, man. I know him from high school. He's a good pacer too. Yeah. Good people, man.
I know him from the hotel.
Sorry?
I know him from the hotel.
Well, listen. All I know is he's good people.
We used to wear orange together, tangerine orange uniform.
Oh, I just thought jail. When you said that color, I was thinking criminal. I didn't.
It felt that way.
Well, I mean, most hotels do feel that way, but we digress. Anyways, when we come back, BPL Union President will be joining us. Let's find out what's going on at BPL. All I know for sure is what's going on is lights still going off. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. We will be back right after.
For the past 33 years, Great Commission Ministries has been defending the poor and hurting, feeding the hungry, and sheltering the homeless. We invite you to support our Live to Give program and make a difference in these challenging times. Become a donor by giving a one-time annual gift or a monthly donation of $50 or $100. Call Great Commission Ministries at 325-5801 for more details, or visit our headquarters at 237 Wolf Road. Join Live to Give today. This public service announcement is proudly sponsored by this radio station.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
TF Express Delivery, the Uber for items, packages, and documents.
It's the Bahamas' most efficient domestic delivery service.
We pick up and deliver for businesses and individuals, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., anywhere in Nassau. TF Express Delivery, the Uber for items, packages, and documents. Call 815-4628 or visit tfxdelivery.com.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
And we're back. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black, my good friend C.A. Newry, co-hosting with me today. We are welcoming, we got a full show for you today. We started the show, we finally got that audio clip sorted out because I definitely want to hear Fred tell the story. I want to hear. I have to hear how he said it, because this is going to be epic, this whole election season. But we've got joining us the union president of BPL, Mr. Kyle Wilson. Kyle, buddy, how are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored. How are you?
I'm well, man. It's so good to have you on the show with us, my friend. It's good to see you.
So good to see you and my buddy CA. CA, we hang with me from back in the hotel, and me and Nahaja, we're good friends from high school and in the neighborhood. And she is a very good basketball player. We shoot basketball together back in the day.
Back in the day. That was the only thing I was good at for like that 5 minutes, because I didn't have stamina, so it went quickly. But Kyle, thank you so much for joining us today, buddy. All right, so I want to talk to you a bit about what's been going on in the union, right? What has been going on with BPL, and how are you guys doing? Because I have some questions with regard to, why are we having so many power outages lately, even though we were told we paid for generators. What is sort of working is going on. I know that there's a lot of work that's happening construction-wise, building of a new, so I don't know what it is in back of Blue Hills, but y'all working. What is going on with BPL in terms of functionality, in terms of power and generation?
Well, that's the magic question that even sometimes I, as president, ask. We have an administration that basically operates in isolation with no respect to the union. Just last Thursday, we would have gotten an injunction in the Supreme Court against the company just arbitrarily acting on their own and just raising medical benefits on the employees with no respect to the union when we have an industrial agreement that speaks to it. These people are just hell-bent on doing their own thing.
So
yes, go ahead.
Go ahead. No. Finish your thought.
Yeah. In terms of the construction that you see going on, I think you referred to it as power station. Mm-hmm. That is a deal that was done with Sun Oil to, I think, provide some maybe 16 to 20 megawatts of power. It's a private, situation going over there where they say it's a rental. But I mean, I've seen rentals. We have about 80 megawatts of rental power through a Greco. And in 2-3 days, they can be up and gone. What I see built in the back there, that's a permanent structure. That's something that's here to stay. That's some big giant edifice. It took about 2 years to build. And it was done so in secret, without no respect to the union or anybody knowing anything that's happening in the back there. And this is the attitude of the leadership of BPL today. They just feel as if they could run them up, do whatever they want to do, disrespect the union, and just throw any flack at the Bahamian people or throw anything against the wall and hope it sticks. But I'm here to call them out.
Yeah, no, and I so appreciate that you are, calling them out right now. So then here we are, Kyle. If you're just tuning in, Kyle Wilson, president of the
Bahamas Electrical Workers Union.
Thank you. I keep saying BPL. Thank you. President of the BEWU. Here, and we're talking about pretty much the workers and the conditions there. But you mentioned something that's very interesting, that, things are happening without any sort of, what you said, and you used the word respect to the workers and the staff. Do you feel as if this disrespect in terms of not conveying plans or progress involving those staff, does that extend even to the customers, to us?
Well, it should, because guess what? I'm a customer too. I pay light bill, so I'm a worker here. Yeah, I'm a union leader, but I'm also a customer who pays light bills. And so things are going on. And to me, it's a grave insult, because like I said to you, we just got an injunction on an issue. This is an issue that they could have sat down and worked along with the union with, and we could have come to an amicable agreement. Yet still they went on their own in isolation and just decided to, hey, they're raising the insurance by 6%. No figures. They're not saying who's insurance with, what's going on. And this is an insurance that some of our members pay a benefit into. Some don't, based on the contract. Persons like myself would have been here for a certain amount of years. We don't pay into it. But there are some who would have recently joined the corporation that do pay into it. So we should be given that respect of to say, hey, we're shopping the insurance. We're doing some things. These people tell you nothing. And so I had to go to the Supreme Court and get them a good slap on the wrist to say, hey, take it easy. You're going to sit with the union. You're going to show respect to the people's benefit because it doesn't belong to them. It belongs to us, the workers, and we pay into it. But this is the attitude of the leaders of BPL today. And I have the question, who appoints these people? Who appoints these rude, ignorant, selfish people that such disrespect to Bahamians? I'm a Bahamian, all right? This is mine. Bahamas Power and Light, built by Bahamian tax dollars for the Bahamian people. And this is part of the sovereign wealth generating power of the Bahamian people. And for what I see here, I'm questioning what is the future of BPL? Why are we giving it away to foreigners, especially that Shell deal when we have about $600 billion the government's about to borrow to build a power plant, give it to Shell to buy back power. To me, like I always tell people, if it's not criminal, it's ungodly. And that's what you're doing to Bahamian people money. Nahaja, if you walk around the Blues Power Station, if you walk around the Clifton Pier Power Station, all you see is foreigners. We had a visa package. We sent Bahamians home. We said there's no more space for you. BPL is overcrowded. Yet still, we have more foreigners in BPL. They get hotel, cars, per diem, money to spend, probably even women to kiss up on if they want it. And they're not going to give it to Bahamians. And they have more of them here than us. I'm a skilled, trained Bahamian certified by City and Guilds Institute of London. We bring these people here. We don't know who they are, but just because maybe the color of their skin or where they're from, we believe that they are better than our own. Right now, we have a project going on. They said it's a turnkey. What does it mean? Oh, no Bahamian workers on it. We give the contract to foreigners. Yet still those foreigners turned around and hired Bahamians to do the job. We have some of our own skilled technicians right now hired by the foreigners to come in and help them. What a disgrace.
Wow. Kyle, listen, I'm sitting here and you are saying a mouthful, my friend. So now all of this thing, all of what's happening.
500 members, but in total line staff, we have about maybe 600 persons, 600 plus.
600 plus. And when you, as the union president, you're speaking for your members. So you're finding that your members are all up in arms about this lack of respect across the board.
Well, I don't know. I not only speak for the members, I speak for the Bahamian people, and I speak for labor itself. You know, I speak because of the field of labor in this country. I'm also an elected union labor officer, and I'm a Bahamian, so I speak with a triple hat, as the way I see it.
And have you spoken with the executive? Have you spoken to the executive branch? What is, where are you guys?
President Nahaja, I've written letters, hundreds of them piled up. Never one reply, not one. And I cry shame on the board. I cry shame on its chairman and the leaders down. Is this how you handle a union? This is how you handle your own people? Then what do you expect the foreigners to do? How do you expect them to treat us when you're so mean-spirited towards your own? When you disrespect labor the way you're doing it? What do you want the foreigners to do? This is a government-owned back entity. The government makes the laws. They make the labor laws, and they appointed you. And if you're not carrying them out, right, what do you expect the foreigners to do? You know what the director of labor said in a conciliatory meeting? He said, it seems as if the leadership of BPL is operating with a foreign mentality. And he even says that they are exploiting labor. That's his word to Director John. This is a disgrace what's happening in BPL. If you ask me, the way they're handling labor, the way they're doing it, everything is like, hey, get rid of Bahamians, dump them off, just run them off their jobs so we could contract foreigners to come in and do the work. That seems to be the order of the day.
And I'm sitting here and listening, and I'm dumbfounded that since you've been the president, and you've been the president almost 2 years now, eh?
Well, just over a year.
You've been the president 2 years?
Yeah, just a year and about a month. And I was out for about 5 months when I caught the COVID virus, and I was out for about 5 months. But I've been the president for about a year and about 2 months. I would have succeeded the President Paul Maynard.
And even the issue I've heard from quite a few employees of BPL, even the issue of how you guys have been dealt with COVID, and not feeling as if you were, being protected during the height of COVID was a whole other story I found to be the case as well.
Well, just let me say this. The first letter that I ever penned to BPL was to its board and its leadership. And I penned a comprehensive letter explaining that, hey, this was in February, early February, that, hey, this COVID virus coming. The Bahamas is a part of the global market. We are an end user of a lot of products that travel around the world, tourists, all these things. We have a lot of people that come in and out of BPL, in and out the doors. We have a lot of foreigners that come in here. Let's get ahead of this thing. Let's see what we can do before it reaches our shores to protect our workers. Nothing, no response. I got a letter from the chairman that says, oh, when the government sends out this protocol, we'll follow the government's protocol.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And that's how many workers ended up with COVID? Because I knew it was quite a bit. It was quite a large number. At some point, you guys had like a cluster.
You had entire departments. Like me, I work in the mechanical maintenance department at Blue's Power Station. My entire department was basically out, right?
Wow.
And so when you asked about what contributed to maybe some of the blackouts, that can be a possibility, but I can assure you the men and women here would have worked very hard. And, I always encourage them. I said, hey, you want me to go there? You want me to negotiate? You want me to bring home the bacon? And you got to give me a leg to stand on. So you got to work hard. You guys got to come to work. You got to push to keep those lights on. So the Bahamian people, when I go there, they say, oh, the BPL people greedy. Like they say that. But, I'm not really asking for money. What I'm asking for more training for Bahamian people so we can rise back up in the energy sector like we were back in the 80s and early 90s, because we had the apprenticeship program, which I am a part of. I came through that program. The last 5 union presidents came through that program. We had general managers, assistant general managers, directors, managers right now. Every manager of the Out Islands came through the apprenticeship program. Right now, every young leader in BPL came through the apprenticeship program. And the program is scrapped. And ever since
when was it scrapped?
The last group was in 2008. That's the last time that they brought in a set of apprentices. And previous to 2006, I think it was maybe about 10 years before that. What this program does, it's a comprehensive program put on through City and Guilds Institute of London that certifies you as a craftsman in the electrical and mechanical fields. Mm-hmm. And when you come with that program, it's like you're coming out of the womb running, right? And so everybody wants an apprentice in their department because they know what you're going to get. And so we've shied away from that. And they're just putting people on the jobs and they're not training the people properly. We're not offering the training programs as we want to. And so this is part of probably why we're not getting as best a product to the Bahamian people as we ought to, because we're not putting the best into BPL. So nothing in, nothing out.
What are you saying? What would you say then? I think for many of us, because we've heard this, right? We've heard that, there's a challenge with, well, I've heard it. I don't know if the audience has. And I think what you're doing, Kyle, and bringing it to the fore is very important, that there is this disconnect between management or the executive, the board, the chairman, the CEO, and the staff. And how, I want to ask this question of you, how has this divide affected productivity? What is the morale of the staff? Because I'm looking at, and I still can't comprehend why we're having outages and disruptions so consistently, even after these upgrades. And so we're trying to figure out, is it a morale issue? Is it a human resource issue? Or is it a technical issue?
Well, let me address it from the different aspects of it. Morale is poor. The people come to me and they say, Kyle, I don't feel like coming to work, man. The way I'm treated, they don't recognize you for promotions. Only their friends. You'd watch a guy come in to BPL, he gets a car, he gets a big fat Gussie May salary.
What?
BPL is shaped like a lollipop salary-wise. It's top-heavy, extremely top-heavy. And I guess if you're part of the regime of the day, you get a big, nice, juicy salary, and they make you a manager of the garbage can or the parking lot, and you get a car, you get everything. But if you are an indigenous BC worker of the day, they bypass you, they recognize you. I've been screaming and crying for promotions for persons who have been overlooked for 14, 15 years, some of the best workers, people who are in categories where they ought not to be, and for the company to recognize them, and it's like pulling teeth. These people don't recognize you, but then when you look, The next day, someone comes and gets a do-nothing job with a big fat monster salary. That's an insult, and they're acting like people can't see. And it's hurting the employees who have helped to build the corporation to what it is. I mean, it's egregious, and I'm just calling it what it is. Morale is low. But you know something? I'm trying to rebuild it. I was spoken to the DPM, the Honorable Desmond Bannister, and he's been a great help to me. I must be honest, in all honesty, he's been a great help. Like I said, last year, I basically lived on his doorstep every morning, trying to get relief, trying to get help from the ministerial level, because the people in BPL are just outright disrespectful and act as if there's no union. And so the minister has been very helpful in that regard. I must give.
How has he helped? How has he helped, Guy?
He stepped in many situations. There was one time that I told him that, hey, the guys are really down and they're not feeling good because there's no cars, there's no vehicles. They're being asked to do these jobs. They're being asked to do this. He actually came out of the blue, no media, no fanfare. He jumped in his car and he drove down to BPL and he asked me to get those guys. And we all sat together and he talked to them and he tried to work out whatever issues he could from this ministerial post. He said, listen, I don't want to come down and I don't want to bully anybody or anything, but I'm going to do what I have to do to help you guys get the tools, get whatever you need to get the job done. Because he would have seen how many times I would have come to his office. So I would give that to him. I would give him that nod that he's been very helpful in that regard. He's always been a listening ear. Whether he agrees or disagrees, he gives me a listening ear and he said, okay, I'm going to look into it. I'm going to get back at you. And I appreciate him in that regard, but it's like still pulling teeth. These guys are some really hard-headed people, man. And I don't know what mandate they have, but it seems like one is to destroy the Bahamian workforce and just trade it off for foreigners and contracts. That's what it looks like.
Do you believe that BPL is being positioned to be privatized?
Absolutely. Absolutely. They're trying to demoralize the staff. They're slowly, through attrition, just cutting back, not giving people the tools and stuff they need. So it's like they're trying to paint a picture to the public that, hey, we as Bahamians can't handle this. Let's give it to the foreigners. Yeah, that's the picture they're probably trying to paint. But we can do it. We have some of the best engineers in the world here in BPL. You know why I'm going to say that? That same Shell project. Some of the managers that were let go on the visa, they are the ones who are now building and running the Shell project. Some of the persons who were let go have to be hired by the foreigners who they brought in to assist. We have some of the best craftsmen and engineers in the world because you know what? They were trained in the same schools, same colleges, same experience as a lot of these foreigners who they're bringing in. We're not giving Bahamians an opportunity, man. We're not giving us an opportunity to succeed. Why do we believe foreign is better? Why do we believe I have the color of my skin got to be a certain color to be white or right? Come on, man. I mean, it's just shocking to see what's going on around. When I look around, I see more foreigners, Canadians, white guys, than Bahamian people in Bahamas Power and Light. And they're going to say, oh, it's the overtime that's running up. No, it's not. It's those foreigners who you're paying triple what you're paying me to do the same job. Some of them are just here wiping down parts, man. They're fleecing the Bahamian people. And it's being allowed. And it's almost criminal that they're giving some of these guys work permits in this climate. No one should be given a foreigner a work permit to come into BPL to do a remedial job for almost $1,000 a day, plus a car, plus a hotel. Come on, man.
And Kyle, you know this for a fact that we got some folks coming in. We have foreign workers coming in, doing things that Bahamians can do, making up to $1,000 a day.
Listen, if it ain't 1,000, it ain't far, because when you add the hotel, when you add the car, when you add the food, and you add the expenses plus their salary, that's their $1,000 a day.
Yeah.
I gotta show you. And guess what? They ain't renting no March or Fit Buddy. They got US style SUVs, and you could call Budget and Avis Rental yourself. They're not renting from M&M Rentals from around the corner for $250 for the week, right? Or $250 for 7 days. They're renting for $250 a day. All right. They're staying in the Atlantises and they're staying in these fancy hotels every day as workers. What we could barely scrap to go off on vacation, right? And that's where they're being housed. They get the best, while Bahamians just get the boot.
Wow. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. Kyle Wilson, president of the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union, joining us on the show here and sharing really a mouthful and giving us a foray behind the scenes of the nation's power supply, the only one, and really trying to get a sense of what's going on in the back there. Kyle, thank you so much for doing that with us today. What do you need? If you had the CEO and the chairman listening, that's Mr. Hasty and Mr. What's his name? What's the name of the
Moxie.
CEO? Moxie.
Chairman Moxie.
Right. If they were both listening, I don't know if they are, but what would you say to them right now, and what do you need from them?
First of all, I need them to believe in their own, to believe in Bahamians, and stop thinking that you have to go outside of the country to find what's right here. Sometimes the very comb you're looking for is right in your hair, or the keys you're looking for is right in your pocket, but you're not giving Bahamians a chance. And let's say you want a contract. Let's say you want to get into contracts, fine. Then what about the Alpha Marines and the John Paynes and the other guys right here in the Bahamas who work on yachts and international boats? People come to the Bahamas, bring their boats and yachts with some of the same engines we got in BPL for these guys to work on, right? And Alpha Marine is a company of Bahamians that were former BPL employees, technicians, and they formed their own company. And so why are we not giving them an opportunity? Why are we looking to Canada, to America? They trained their people. Why can't we train ours? You know, when the power goes out, everyone is going to look at the guy with the BPL logo on his shirt. But let me explain to you. We have a Greco. They have 80 megawatts of power. It's a privately ran operation. Then we have Wadzilla. That's owned by the Bahamian people, but it's contracted to be operated by another company, right?
Well, let me ask you.
When they have a fault and power goes out, who do you think gets the blame? Not them. Everyone's going to look at me as the Bahamian power and light guy, but it's not us. It's the private guys that's causing most of the problems.
Okay, let me ask you. Someone is saying, okay, not one single former BPL employee. Hold on, wait. Let me see. Hold on, make sure that's a question. Because someone is saying, okay, that you're spewing mistruths here, Kyle, and for some reason they think that I'm giving you a platform to lie. But let's see what's going on. I'm waiting for the question.
This is the truth that I'm spewing.
Well, I'm waiting for the question here. Waiting for the question. They're just saying that you're lying. They believe that I have an agenda. I am disappointed that you continue to give him a platform. He has told 4 lies since I've been listening. Shame, shame, shame. Playing the race card, but there's no question here or where they've said that you've lied. Right? So I'm just waiting on the question to see where you've lied. So I'm waiting on the response there. Someone within management saying that I must have an agenda having you on, and that you must be, because you're telling lies.
Why don't they identify themselves and say what I'm lying about?
Well, they don't need to identify themselves. I just want them to give a question to say, or something to rebut what you've been saying, so that I could know that it's what you're saying is not.
Do we not have foreigners in BPL right now in Blue Hills doing what Bahamians can do? Do we not have foreigners working at the Shell plant? Do we not have foreigners here working at the Greco plant? Do we not have foreigners here at Clifton Pier? Do we not just bring in a foreigner from Jamaica to deal with our transmission and distribution issues, or the safe? I think that's the protection department. Did we not do these things? Come on, man. Let's be truthful to the Bahamian people. Don't just throw nothing out here. Well, let them come on to your show and show you I've lied to the Bahamian people. Let them come on to your show. I'm willing to debate. I'm just telling the truth as it is. As president of the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union, I am telling the truth as to what I see with my own 2 eyes. So if they're saying that I'm spilling the truth, I'm telling truth. Did we not get an injunction against BPL Thursday from Justice Inga Charles about the state of labor relations in the company? Did we not get that injunction? Come on, let's tell the truth to the Bahamian people, okay? And so just coming on and say, oh, I lied, I heard 4 lies. What are the 4 lies? So you can come and you can investigate for yourself, Nahaja, and report back to the Bahamian people. And you could say, you know what, Kyle, you embarrassed me and I don't want you on my show anymore. But I want you to come and investigate every word that I'm saying and say whether it's yay or nay. You see what I'm saying? I expect them to say that because they want to cover themselves, but I'm telling the truth.
Okay, let's see if I got one. Who's making $1,000 a day? What shell plant?
First of all, I said when you add in the hotel, the car, their per diems and salary, that adds up to nearly $1,000 per day. Obviously, you're not hearing what I'm saying. Okay?
Because I did ask that question. I did ask you if you can prove. I did ask you, hey, can we prove that someone is making $1,000 a day? And you went through your list, right? Go ahead.
Correct. And what's the other issues?
No. But go ahead, explain it.
Yeah, like I said, they have foreigners here, and what these foreigners are doing, they're doing jobs that I have done my entire life, that we do on a regular, everyday basis. And I'm asking, why are they here? They say, well, the company decided they want to go turnkey. Okay, fine. But yet still, they have two of our former technicians here helping them out. They have some of our electrical technicians helping them out. They have some of our guys that were here who assisted with technical cleaning work. They're here. And so what turnkey is it? They're still using Bahamian labor. So what I'm saying is these guys are getting hotel rooms over Atlantis, over the top resorts in the Bahamas. They're getting rental cars. So am I lying? Come on. How do they get to work? Where do they live? Where do they stay? Okay. Who gives them a work? And so anyone says I'm spinning a lie, that's someone who's just trying to spin the truth. Okay.
Yeah. So we have to take a break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll dive in a bit more.
They're just trying to distract from the truth, baby. That's all they're trying to do.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more with Kyle Wilson, president of the BEWU. And we do have some persons from the executive listening and tuning in. And, I know that they probably won't call right now, but that they are messaging on the side. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, more on this. And plus, we have a lot to discuss also with further headlines. We'll be back after.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
You're listening to the Guardian News Network. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Taylor Ferguson. Here's what's making news. Thank you for tuning in. The Bahamas recorded its first case of COVID-19 1 year ago on this date, March 15th, 2020. Well, 1 year since those emergency powers came into effect. Police Commissioner Paul Roll says with so many of his officers exposed to the deadly virus, executing their duties was far from easy. The technology being used for the registration and rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine in country was developed by Bahamians. That's according to Health Minister Renwood Wells. Wells was referring to the electronic immunization record, which will track individuals who gets which doses and when. The body of a missing man from Sunday night's accident was recovered in waters near Harbor Island this morning. Donovan Clare, the victim's uncle, told the Nassau Guardian he recovered his nephew's body during a search. That man was one of 8 people ejected from a Boston whaler after it collided with a ferry boat Sunday night. Police said 2 women were pronounced dead at the Harbor Island Medical Facility last night. 2 other women were airlifted to New Providence, and a man and 2 women were treated and discharged. The captain and passengers of the ferry were all accounted for. Chief Superintendent Brian Roll says the cause of the accident remains under investigation. Well, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis selling that AstraZeneca shot he and others received on Sunday. The Prime Minister told Parliament this morning that 1 day later, he's fine.
I have no side effects. I feel good. I'm in fact, at 4 o'clock this morning, I was up and I was on the street exercising as I normally do.
And that's what's making news. I'm Taylor Ferguson. AP News is coming up next.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
For the past 33 years, Great Commission Ministries has been defending the poor and hurting, feeding the hungry, and sheltering the homeless. We invite you to support our Live to Give program and make a difference in these challenging times. Become a donor by giving a one-time annual gift or a monthly donation of $50 or $100. Call Great Commission Ministries at 325-5801 for more details, or visit our headquarters at 237 Wolf Road. Join Live to Give today. This public service announcement is proudly sponsored by this radio station.
Biden touts the rescue plan. I'm Tim McGuire with an AP News Minute. President Biden, First Lady Jill Biden, Vice President Harris, and her husband are hitting the road, talking up the $1.9 trillion coronavirus rescue package. The president says the day-to-day operation of implementing that massive plan falls on Democratic economic policy expert Gene Sperling.
I learned from my experience implementing the Recovery Act just how important it is to have someone who can manage all the moving parts with efficiency, speed, and integrity.
The government plans to house some 3,000 immigrant teenagers at a Dallas convention center to reduce the crowding in border facilities. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says the current system is not the answer.
It's not acceptable, but I think the challenge here is that there are not that many options.
Last month, close to 9,500 unaccompanied children crossed the border, the highest since May 2019. I'm Tim McGuire.
Hello, sir. Your credit card bill is due. Hello, sir. It's time for your monthly loan payment. Tired of creditors pounding at your door? Sign up for a debt consolidation loan from Fidelity Bank and consolidate your debt into one low monthly payment. What's more, you'll also earn interest on a built-in savings account. The pandemic has curbed many freedoms, but at Fidelity, our focus is to help regain your financial freedom. Visit a branch or speak to Fidelity Bank at 356-7764. COVID safety measures in place at all branches. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Cancer is smart. It pushes us. We push back. Challenging conventional thinking, finding smarter solutions. That's what makes Cancer Treatment Centers of America one of the leaders in precision cancer treatment, using tools like advanced genomic testing and immunotherapy to bring more options to our patients. Cancer Treatment Centers of America. We're not just fighting cancer anymore. We're outsmarting it. Visit cancercenter.com/outsmart to learn more.
Think safety first. Get to know LA Impact Windows and Doors. For the lowest and affordable quality hurricane impact windows and doors, garage doors, showers, shutters, casement and sliding windows and doors for residential and commercial business, installation, glass and roll-up shutter repairs, special discounts for contractors and senior citizens, easy layaway plans too. Feel safe with LA Impact Windows and Doors, located in the Southland Plaza, East Street South, just 3 doors north of the Teachers Credit Union offices. LA Impact Windows and Doors, impacting your view. Phone 322-3667.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
And we're back. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black joining us, still with us. And I don't know where my friend C.A. Newry disappeared to. C.A. just dropped off of the face of the planet, you know, hiding in the background. C.A., I don't know where you are, but you better show up quick. So we have joining us Kyle Wilson, president of the BEWU. Kyle, this commentary saying, listen, man, I had someone text me and say, show me or tell us where there are foreigners in management. Did you say anything about foreigners in management? Are there foreigners in management?
Yeah, I just made a statement. I just said they just brought in a guy to do for the protection department and from out of Jamaica. He's here and doing protection work. I said that.
Yeah. Okay. And so you aren't shying against your claims.
No.
And everything that you're saying here, you were willing to, well, you're saying it on air for the record. So you're strong on your position.
Yes, I am.
All right. So nothing to hide here.
The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The truth shall set you free. See, their light runs with engines. My light doesn't. My light is the light of the world. Okay? You don't have to plug in my light, my lamp to shine. Okay? So I'm not gonna come here and spew lies to the Bahamian people. I represent my union to the fullest. And we have a great union, great people, hardworking people, and I represent them well. And I'm going to come here. I love BPL. This is my job. For the past 15 years, they train me, and I love what I do. But I'm going to say the truth is the truth. I'm going to call it how it is. If something is good and going good, I'm going to call it good. But I'm going to call right, and wrong. Okay? And I'm saying here, and if anyone has a problem with me saying that Bahamians ought to be given an opportunity to make these exorbitant salaries, that Bahamians ought to be given contracts, that say Bahamians deserve a right to be trained and given opportunities, and I have a problem with you because you're obviously lost in what I'm saying, okay? And if you take offense to what I have to say, then examine yourself, because I'm here speaking for you, the Bahamian people. I'm only asking for the best for us, the Bahamian people. And so I don't want to get it twisted and think I have a personal agenda and axe to grind. I don't. I'm just speaking up for the Bahamian people and the labor and the people who elected me to represent them in the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union. So if you have a problem with that, then that's on you.
Someone, again, from the executive team of BPL is asking the question, and would hope that I posed the question to you. You mentioned, and this is a stickler, because the argument is that there are a lot of foreign workers there at BPL.
People need to come and identify themselves, need to come forward and come on the show just like me. Why are they hiding behind you? I'm not hiding behind you. I'm here up front and center. So they need to come on the show. I'm not going to answer any questions from them. Let them come and speak to the Bahamian people, and then let you, the media, come to the place, stand at the gates, watch the people come in. I interview the people.
Well, I'm coming now. I'm coming, Kyle. You and I are going to set a date.
What's the purpose of being here in the Bahamas? When would you issue the work permit? How long did you come here? How long are you for? What are you doing? Okay, that's easy to do. And you could say, well, I guess the burden of proof lies this way or that way. And it's easy to do. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not going to take any questions from them. They can answer me themselves.
Listen, I like your spirit, boy, Kyle. That's why I know you're a pacer all day, every day. I love it. Someone said. And listen, this member of the executive team, they know anytime, any place, they're willing and they're always welcome. You know, I said, I'll say, tell Kyle who's messaging you. I can tell you later. But I think it's going to be quite interesting. And what you've been saying, Kyle, and I know you. We've been friends for forever, and you are a straight shooter. And that's one of the things I've always loved about you. You're a straight shooter. You ain't got time to mince words, right? So you say what you got to say and you move on, and then you make a great meal and celebrate life afterwards. So I think that what you've been saying here, it all lends an air of credibility to it. However, I think what will be argued, and this is why I hope that we do get the executives of BPL on to rebut the statement if it is indeed incorrect, right? To rebut the statement that there aren't, the BPL isn't overrun with foreigners, that BPL's top brass or the persons making the most money aren't foreign staff and workers. But above all else, what is it that you want done or hope to have achieved before the end of this year is out? What are you hoping for as the president of the?
I've never made it any secret. And I'm here speaking, I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for raises. We understand the climate. I'm a Bahamian. I know what's going on. I know the government is stretched and they're doing their best to try to help the Bahamian people. But what I'm asking for is for us not to be bringing in labor into the country, but instead using the tools that we have here in the country already, keeping the money in the country, helping each other. See, those guys that here, they're not going to go on the side of the road and they're not going to buy tuna and grits the way I would buy it. They're going to spend their money in the hotels, and whatever money they make, they're going to take it back with them because they're not familiar with the Bahamas the way I am. So they're not going to. So we got to keep this money in the economy, man. And we, like I said, we have great technicians here. We have some great world-class well-trained persons. And what I'm saying is let's reestablish the apprenticeship programs, the engineering programs. Let's reestablish the programs that once made BPL so great. And that's my cry here more than anything. But you know something? They're missing that. They're not hearing that. They're not hearing that part. They're not saying, oh, he's lying. Oh, we don't have the training programs anymore. Oh, am I lying? Is the apprenticeship program not here anymore? Is the engineering and training program not? And if they're here, they're not even what they once used to be. Probably just shells of themselves. So I'm saying bring back those training programs that made BPL so great that we can do it ourselves as Bahamians. We must believe in Bahamians. Like I said, that guy who's coming here, he was trained in his country to be great. And they're coming from big countries. For me to compete with them in my little Bahamas is not fair, man. And so all I'm asking my government, instead of investing all of this big money into those guys, why don't you invest into me? So why don't you send me off to a training course? What I don't have, why don't you put me to work next to him so I can pick up some of the skills that he have? Why do you have him working in isolation and not allowing Bahamians to work along with these guys if they have a skill set that we don't have? But some of those skill sets we do have, and so I'm questioning, why are we contracting foreigners and having to pay hotels, per diems, cars, living expenses for the same job a Bahamian can do for virtually less than $100 per day? But you're not paying him that because his rental car alone is about $200, man. Come on. I'm not lying. I'm being honest. And you guys got to search yourselves, man. I know that I'm telling you the truth. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that you're giving him his cash salary alone, but I'm talking about all those things that add up in one day. Those things add up to over $1,000 a day per person. Come on, man. Let's get serious.
And then they're saying
the person we can hire.
And you know what? One of the positions that you mentioned, where you're saying that they were wiping, and that stuck with me, like wiping pots or something like that. What are we talking about there? What's
Just
that?
like how you would wipe your counter, we have
Yeah.
persons here cleaning parts. When I'm saying cleaning parts, some of them were here cleaning parts, and I'm telling you the truth, okay? And I'm saying that these are things that Bahamians can do. You not clean a part? Can you not take some salt, some solution on a cloth and wipe it down? You can do these things, all right? And there are technical aspects of it with high-level tools that you must do. And some of the specialists, and yes, I guess for insurance purposes, maybe you may have to bring in someone to overview. You can bring in that person. I'm not saying don't bring them. You can bring in that specialist that we don't have. What I'm saying is give Bahamians an opportunity to become specialists too. Is that too much to ask of my own country?
No,
to
no,
give
not
them
at all.
opportunity?
So the person's holding. So you're saying the person's wiping parts, though, that they're specialists, though, that they're for insurance purposes. That's what.
We don't even know some of them are. Okay, one or two of the guys are known to be specialists, but they get contracts and they just hire, guess who? They feel like hiring and bring along with them. Some of these guys are learning on these engines just like anybody else. Okay, we've worked on these engines before and we've been successful working on these engines. I'm telling you. And can they refute that? Can they say, oh, you Bahamians cannot fix these engines? We can, and we've been doing it. But you got rid of all the technicians, right? There's a big age gap between me and the guys that took the package. You're talking about maybe some 10, 15 years. So a lot of us aren't up to speed as those guys were. So by taking them out of the system and out of the way to that VSAP, it left a big void.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes, some of us are able to pick up that slack, but there's a majority of us and a lot of us that aren't up to speed as yet. And the company knew they were offering that package and they did not train the staff or did any training for those staff to catch up before they let those people go. And as a result of it, some of those persons have been here over 3 years. They cannot let them go, even though they gave them the package, because there's no one to replace them because they trained nobody to replace them. And ask the company if I'm lying. Some of those guys have been here, and right now that's a point I've been raising since I became president, that these people have collected their packages, their lump sums, they're getting annuities, and then they're still making the same salaries. And I'm saying for that kind of money, you could have been training some young people to prepare to step in and take over. That VSAP was not properly organized, and it left a big void in the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union, and it left a big void in BPL, right?
Yeah, and for the record,
the truth.
For the record, though, that VSAP, and just for the record, the VSAP happened under the former board, not this new board, under the Donnell Osborne-led board with the VSAPs then. So just so that we understand that this is not the same board that did the separation package. Well, not the leadership anyway. Kyle, thank you so much for your time, my friend. I think that there's a lot.
It's truly a pleasure to be here on your show. I thank you for having me. And like I always tell people, like Zacchaeus climbed the tree that he may be seen and heard. I climbed the tree of your show today that I may be seen and heard. Those guys have a big voice. They can come on the big shows and they could host shows and call in the media anytime and they could tell the Bahamian people what they want to. But what I'm here to do is tell them the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as I see it. And I love my country, and I believe in Bahamians, and that's all I'm saying. And if you listen to the message, you would hear what I'm saying. But anyone who doesn't hear the message of putting Bahamians first and giving us a chance, then I think something's wrong with you. But Nahaja, thank you so much, and it's a pleasure.
Thank you, buddy. And I appreciate the time. Take care. Kyle.
Thank you.
All righty. Kyle Wilson, president of the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union, joining us on the show. My brother had a lot to say, a lot to share with us there. My good friend C.A. Newry. C.A., you were listening. I know you were listening in the background.
I was listening in the background. Definitely Kyle is passionate, and it seems to be a communication or a barrier between union and the executive at BPL. Kyle is saying one thing, and the union and the management is saying something completely different. Any Bahamian would be concerned about having foreign nationals come in imported when Bahamians are here to do the job. And then we hear the narrative that they are specialists. And if they're specialists, of course you need to invite the specialists to come in and show their expertise. One would assume that there'll be on-the-job training for staff who are here, so they too will become specialists. But it's definitely there needs to be a dialogue between the union and BPL so they could be in the same Honda Accord. Because right now it seems to be a
diverging.
Yes, divergent views.
And it's so interesting that there's strong feelings, boy. And now you understand. And I personally can see now there seems to be enmity between the staff and management. The workers or the union and management. There seems to be some real rift where I'm not even talking to y'all anymore. We're nowhere near the same page.
Time for staff meeting. Definitely time for staff meeting.
I think it's more. Isn't there like a management union and then like the other people?
The workers union, yes.
Yeah, right within BPL. So I wonder how management feels. You never hear anything from management, eh? Other than when.
Well, you have an opportunity to invite both unions and see how divergent they are. I
have to find it.
Bringing in specialists.
Yeah, I have to find it from the who the manager or the president is of the managers union. I think that would be an interesting conversation to have as well.
But I would recommend a series of interviews. It just would seem disjointed that tomorrow you don't have someone from management, to add to the conversation, because I would like to know.
And they reach out to me, that would be fabulous.
Yeah,
it would be fabulous. I'm open to everyone reaching out to me the way Kyle reached out to me, because the brother wanted to say his piece, and I was good with that. And I actually listening to what he had to share. I'm saying, okay, well, I would love to hear the other side, because management just came out like, no, you got agenda. Management was hot.
Yeah, and it was hot with you for a minute.
Management was still hot. I think management's still hot.
I said, look how the Hajj are giving people a platform to spew all kind of nonsensical things.
Listen,
I got concerned.
Listen,
I almost logged back on to say
management was so hot. Management was carrying on like I must be trying to buy the company or something. I don't know what management thought. Yeah. I don't know.
But clearly management want to express their views, and they want to have a platform as well. And I hope that they reach out to you.
I hope that we weren't just, WhatsApp, excitement, and we actually get management on the show. Yeah. That would be great. And so
WhatsApp them back when you come in. The union leader just
management didn't seem to start up it.
Back on. Can't be management. You book out this week, so it got to be next week sometime.
It got to be next week. I book out.
Unless they would only speak for half an hour. But
same way. And Kyle was only supposed to speak for half an hour too. I don't even know where to put them, but I'll find a spot. I'll duck somebody.
Oh, they can come this week then.
I'll duck somebody. I'll give management a whole half hour, easy, and someone, because we could have management on, so that'd be good.
But definitely there's a concern, and now the concern is being placed to the public. Now the public is concerned, so management has a duty now to explain or to read us explain what it is that Kyle is charged the executive team of doing.
Oh man, and Kyle made some strong charges.
Some strong charges.
Strong charges. It's only left for management to say, the hell with this. I'm coming on and rebutting this young man.
Yeah.
The union man is alive from the pits of hell. That's what management got to say, because that's how upset they were. They were upset. So I think it's going to be very interesting. I like the fact, because wasn't it? What's the name of my former union leader then? Who was it? What was the name of the former
of BPL?
Yeah,
Maynard.
Oh man, whenever Maynard ran hot, newspapers start printing.
Yeah.
Kyle Wilson, I hope you get your print, buddy.
But Maynard used to say some off the wall things too.
Maynard used to say some off the wall things.
Some quotable moments.
And I don't remember getting none of this Twitter, this Facebook, this WhatsApp pushback with Maynard. But Maynard used to say some off the wall stuff.
But clearly, Kyle is more approachable, whereas management is not cantankerous in contrast to what it was with Maynard. Maynard has tried to break down the place when he spoke.
Well, management
this
doesn't
is communication at least, even though there's a discord.
Management is not interested in Kyle. If they were, they would have answered at least one of Kyle's letters.
He needs to step up there and start making some serious charges.
You think maybe what he said was not serious enough. Kyle Wilson, the president of the BEWU, laid some hefty charges against the union, saying that they are not the union, against the management, the CEO, the chairman, saying that they are disrespectful, that they're just discarding the staff, tons of foreign employees getting perks per diem, far more, and up to $1,000 a day. That sort of charges that he's bringing. So I hope that we can get some folks on the show and see how it goes. Because
explain those perks. I want to get one of those perks to get a hotel and
hotel car
and
per diem.
And a per diem.
Yeah.
And nice, eat big. So
I don't think for the record, though, I know some when we were getting the generators in, I know we had some persons for from what still or BSC, I think is that, where they were the specialists, and you would put them up well. They would get put up well because they're, that's a part of their contract. And so they would be well taken care of. And then you have the line staff where they try to squeeze like 16 of them in one unit. So I'm familiar with that sort of process where they got like 8 people and they're trying to find a space out west. We got 8 people. We just need them to stay in your 2-bedroom. Yeah, no, just to be close to the generator. So, that it happens, and that's how it goes. But anyways, we're going to shift gears, take a quick break, CA. When we come back, we've got a little bit more to talk about on this, of course. And, that was one of the news. We had some, also this weekend has been a little sad. We lost a few people from accidents.
Yes.
And all within the, water related and very disappointing. And then an update, of course, on the shooting of the young boy and his siblings. So we'll discuss that as well. And then we have a little girl, 10. She wants to be a rapper from Grand Bahama.
I wanted to be a rapper when I was young.
Me too. And it didn't work out for neither of us.
Spit a rhyme.
What?
Spit a rhyme.
Nobody says that.
No.
You know what we say? You know what we say?
What they say now?
You spell your top lip, eh? Go talk to your mom. Listen to the hit back with Natasha Black. Everyone, we'll be back right after.
In life, there are always challenges. Today, we find ourselves having to be more self-sufficient, socially aware, and technically savvy. At J.S. Johnson, we are committed to our customers by providing cost-effective insurance solutions. No matter what your insurance needs, we will always be here for you. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
For the past 33 years, Great Commission Ministries has been defending the poor and hurting, feeding the hungry, and sheltering the homeless. We invite you to support our Live to Give program and make a difference in these challenging times. Become a donor by giving a one-time annual gift or a monthly donation of $50 or $100. Call Great Commission Ministries at 325-5801 for more details, or visit our headquarters at 237 Wolf Road. Join Live to Give today. This public service announcement is proudly sponsored by this radio station.
Imagine. That's where every advancement begins, with an idea that things can be different, better. Now, imagine a world where your entertainment experience was all about you, your style, your show, at your budget. At Rev, that's what we've imagined. To join the conversation and learn more about the future of Rev TV, visit us at rev.bs/imagine.
Cancer is smart. It pushes us. We push back. Challenging conventional thinking. Finding smarter solutions. That's what makes Cancer Treatment Centers of America one of the leaders in precision cancer treatment. Using tools like advanced genomic testing and immunotherapy to bring more options to our patients. Cancer Treatment Centers of America. We're not just fighting cancer anymore. We're outsmarting it. Visit cancercenter.com/outsmart to learn more.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
And we're back. You're listening to Hit Back with Nahaja Black. We got my good friend C.A. Newry joining us on the show. C.A., my boy, what's up?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm trying to make sure you cannot hear Alexa. Can you hear a backdrop?
No.
Okay, good. So I'm good.
Why is Alexa talking to you?
I have Guardian on so I can hear you better. But then I realize it's loud and now I can't hear myself. Give me 2 seconds.
You remember that? Anyone remembers the Forrest Gump? I can't even. There's a line. I just say special is as special does, but they didn't say that in Forrest Gump. But it was in good. Special is. So it's good to have you back, buddy.
Yes.
Good to have you back. Yeah, it's always a pleasure. Okay, so I think before I get our guests on, right? Before I guess. We have no Exoma Regatta. That's a random comment. So if you've just been tuning in, if you just came into your car and you're just tuning in, some of the news of the day was that we have there was this thing with the Prime Minister on his tour on Saturday, right? And that proved to be very entertaining for the short term. And plus, this is like a 7-minute clip, But I'm not playing the full 7 minutes because no part of it really seemed to do well for the grouping. It didn't. I mean, they had one fellow on. They asked him, how is he going to vote? And his thing is he's voting for whoever can help him. Reese is a good guy.
That was not a good clip for that.
No, Reese is a good guy. But right now he's voting for something. So I don't think Reese is getting that vote.
No.
I don't think so.
He said Reese need to help him out.
Yeah, he needs help, right? Yeah. The brother needs help. So that's going to be interesting because then he said, well, I don't know. In essence, he was saying, I don't know about the prime minister because the election done here. I don't know what else he could do.
Yes.
So I think it's on.
He ain't voting for the prime minister neither. That was not a good interview for the cause.
It just didn't work out.
No.
But this is what was interesting. And I'm going to play this clip and then Ollie, cue the clip for me. So right after we play this clip, I want you to, and then play the one by Fred Mitchell. And then after that, we'll go to my guest, the young lady who's a 10-year-old rapper. Very interesting young lady. All right. So Arlie, cue that, hold it. And then let's play this.
Centerville must stay with the FNM. The PLP has had it for a long time, but now they are with us. We have no intention of losing any of our seats. During the last election, we campaigned on corruption. We tried to wipe them all out. 4 of the contaminants escaped. No more contaminants must remain.
That's so funny. That's so funny. All right, Ollie. Play the clip.
Good morning. This is Fred Mitchell, Chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party, and today is Monday, the 15th of March, 2021. It's the Ides of March. On this day, 2065 years ago, Julius Caesar was assassinated. He was the Roman emperor by Roman senators because they thought he was being too ambitious. Thus, as a tradition, my friend Zendel Forbes, who's a lecturer at the University of the Bahamas, and I exchange on this day the following exchange from Shakespeare's play. Caesar says, the Ides of March have come as he enters the Senate. Soothsayer says, I, but not yet gone. By afternoon, Caesar was dead. We, of course, are struggling with our own wannabe emperor here in the Bahamas in the form of Dr. Hubert Minnis, who quite clearly lost his head when he went on the streets on Saturday and called 4 PLP MPs contaminants. We always knew there was a little screw loose upstairs, but it is plain and obvious on its face now. This is the kind of genocide talk where the Hutus in Africa called the Tutsis vermin and ultimately led to mass slaughter. Is this what our prime minister wants for us? To descend into tribalism and trench warfare? If he does, he's a damn fool, a jackass of the first order and not fit for purpose. How dare he bring this kind of junkyard, schoolyard, bully talk to the body politic? It is irresponsible. And what is even worse is that 24 hours have passed since this stupid offensive statement was made, and none of the civil society institutions have kicked in to condemn it. Let it have been the PLP that said it. Every puss and his brother would have been piling on. But because it was said about PLPs, not a single word from any independent source. Some weak-kneed Negroes were very worried about the severity of the PLP's response to this issued yesterday. But let us be clear. We must match this language toe to toe. Go low, go lower. How dare he call 4 duly elected members of parliament in good standing, Dennis Hannah Martin, Philip Brave Davis, Chester Cooper, Picewell Forbes, that's who he's talking about, and call them contaminants? Is he nuts? If he wants to know what a contaminant looks like, he ought to go and look no farther than his bathroom mirror. Or if he wants to engage in schoolyard talk, in the schoolyard, they would tell you, go home and ask your mom what contaminant is. The prime minister's language is nasty and filthy, came from a useless, hopeless, ignorant, and stupid place. You have to ask yourself the question, what did this country do to deserve this fellow as prime minister? He can't get anything right. The economy is wrecked. 4 ministers live on the cloud of crookedness. There's no hotel in Grand Bahama, no hospital in Grand Bahama, no airport in Grand Bahama.
All right, Ollie. Thank you, Ollie. All right. Okay. I think Fred's... Did he just bring up the Hutu trap? Did he just go?
You see me have purse in my lips?
Did you see Hutu?
And Tutsi.
Tutsi. Oh, jeez.
Mind you, I appreciate the response, though. It is definitely a...
I like the response.
Yeah.
It's if there was ever a political, a diplomatic, slap up.
Yes.
I felt very much
a slap up now. It was a slap up.
It was a slap up. It was a slap up. It was definitely, the prime minister didn't say enough, actually, because that response was a bulldozer dropping on an ant.
It reminds me of when you pick a fight. So you say, I can end this right now. You just pick up that piece of wood and just rack the fight over. it was entertaining to listen to. I'm sure our prime minister is not going to call them no names no more.
I don't think
just contaminant no more.
I always just say, I would never. There are some people you never get into a verbal fight with. You just don't. You just know that you're not going to win this battle. That's the word. Actually, it was a slap up. I'm excited for the rest of this election season. It's going to be fun. That's all I got to say. I'm looking forward to it.
That begs you to question, where is the F&M chairman? Surely he should have a response by now. But he tends not to have any response. Just video.
Unless it's against Bishop Ellis. That was pretty strong.
Yeah, well, someone wrote that for him. Someone wrote that for him.
You didn't think he wrote that himself? That one was pretty strong against Bishop Ellis.
Yeah, no. Someone wrote that for him.
Okay.
Well, it was ill-advised also. You don't go up against the bishop either.
Don't mess with the bishop.
Leave the bishop alone.
Leave the bishop. So anyways, that was a very strong response to the contaminant. Overkill, maybe, but boy.
A tinge.
Just a smidge. Woo. My brother went all the way back to genocide. Didn't he call our prime minister genocidal?
The eyes of March has come.
He went Shakespeare. The Negro went straight up theatrical.
The good German quoted Shakespeare. Then going to Hotel Rwanda. I had flashback with the movie.
I saw black people walking with baskets on their head, and little clothes, and dying in the streets.
I saw it. I said, Lord, don't let the machete come out. No.
Oh, I saw machetes. He was cutting. He was cutting. All right. So, anyways, CA Newry joining us. Woo, child, this only Monday. So we got a lot to talk about. If you've missed any part of the show, don't forget you can follow us on YouTube, on Facebook, and join us as always every weekday, 4 to 6 p.m. Guardian 96.9 FM. Now, CA, I've got a special surprise for us all. A young lady. She is 10 years old, I think she is. And I don't see Nevea's photo here, but hopefully your camera's up and we can get her on screen. But if not, I want to add her to our discussion.
Can I ask her to spit some rhymes?
Yeah, no, she's going to spit some rhymes first.
Okay, that's what Steve said.
And then send that out as a request. Nevea got to spit some rhymes for us. We got a beautiful young lady all the way from Grand Bahama. Hi, Nevea, how are you?
I'm good.
Listen, it's a pleasure to have you on the show with us. I have been told that I am talking to, a young star, a burgeoning star in the field of rap, of hip hop, really. And I want to get from you, first of all, how old are you? Tell us your name. How old are you? And then what made you, or why do you love to rap?
I'm 11 years old and my name is Nevea.
Mm-hmm. What school do you go to?
I go to Ridgeland Primary.
Oh, man, hold on. Ridgeland?
Nassau?
You're Nassau. All right. I've totally got my location wrong. All right, but so tell us a bit about why do you love to rap? Tell us a bit about it. What got you into it? How did you know you were a rapper?
Well, because when I first started rapping, I didn't know I could rap. But one day I just listened to a song and I started rapping, and my mom said she liked it. And that gave me confidence to start my dreams.
Oh, man,
do you write your own song? Do you have like a list of songs that you've created?
I have just created one, creating more.
Yeah, what's the name of the name of the song is Girl Boss, right?
No, ma'am, Boss Move.
Boss Move, shame. I was close. That was shame.
Yeah.
It was Boss Move. Not Girl. My apologies, baby.
Does Boss Move have any meaning?
Yes, sir. I did Boss Move song to represent that all around the globe, that females can be bosses and can be independent.
Oh, there you go.
Look at her. This is so cool. Okay, so as I'm trying to get the clip up and running, so what are you what do you hope to achieve? What are you looking for your career? And, who are some of your inspirations?
Some of my inspirations was my mom and my father, and also a couple of my friends who encouraged me to start rapping and following my dreams.
Well, I finally got the clip here, so let's see if we can get, because I really want to let folks hear this music that you're making. You're not playing around. Hold on one second.
So is it a music video, Nahaja, or is it just the lyrics?
It's the audio for it.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, it's not a music video, but she's had. Who's your producer? Who's your support? D-Mac, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So she got big people supporting her, man. She's
I
doing
like
boss
D-Mac.
moves
That
right
should be
now.
nice. That should be nice.
All right, you ready? Let's see what we got here. Hold on. Let's see what we got. And oh wait, cancel that. So I'm trying to be a technical producer at the same time.
I see.
And, some days it just work out, other days it don't work out. So let's see what we got.
Boss Move, Lil Veve.
And this is Boss Move by Lil Veve.
Boss Move, head done every day. Know what's up in the state like a night, 8 day. Money popping on the charts, cause you know I got the wigs done and a pretty face, that what's up. Bank account looking pretty, that's a bang, and you know what's up. Popping on the charts, that's pop. Nails up, makeup on the queen, cause you know my body famous. I pop the charts and you know what's up. Boss Move every day and I eat steak, that what's up. My bank account lit and you know the billionaires wanna check me, cause the check real up. Yes, that's it. I'm a rap, so you know these hits is it. And you know I'm a boss when I make the money. Boss Move pop the charts and you know that's it. And you know my bank account lit.
My bank account's lit.
Boss Move, Lil Veve.
Lil Veve, y'all. Boss Moves by Lil Veve. Listen, so I mean that's a pretty impressive, sis. That's pretty impressive.
I'm impressed.
That's pretty impressive. My producer and I was like, wow, nice work. And so you wrote that yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we got people saying, yeah, you're really good. She's really good. She's really good. And so now,
so is the at least you don't have a video yet, but do you plan to put it on like on YouTube so you have hits, or what is it, Instagram? I don't know what the young people do nowadays to get the talent out. But I know you do something on social media. So what's the plan?
Yeah, what's the plan, Neve?
I'm going to be doing a music video, but I have the song on iTunes Music, Apple Music, and the rest of them, and on 150 platforms.
Woo, look at that. Cecil can't name 2 platforms other than
no.
If you take away, Facebook.
Audio Mac. I have Audio Mac, so I just download music there.
Audio what?
Audio something. I gotta look at it. Mac.
Lil Veve, Nevea, thank you so much. We're so proud of you. I want you to know that the Hit Back is a show for you. Whenever you release the video, whenever you write a song, we are so impressed and so proud. And I encourage you on it, man. I encourage you. And I think we all encourage you to, aim for the stars. And, the thread and everyone says that you're very, really talented. Dude, you're pretty good, I must say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your mom, I know she's a big supporter of yours. So hello to Miss Sweeting, who's been, I can hear in the background.
Hi.
Wait, can't see it. Wait, where are you, Mom? Come back in the camera. There you go. Hi, Mom.
Hi, how are you?
Excellent. So proud of both you. I know you're proud of your daughter and what she's accomplishing. And so we're looking forward to what's next. And when you got somebody like D-Mac in your corner, in terms of production and so forth, I'm sure.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, the sky's the limit.
He's awesome. He's very awesome. He's the best manager she could ever have. He is the best.
Mm-hmm. And listen, I know my girl Yolanda over there in Grand Bahama. She's watching, and we've had DMAC on the show as well. Thank you guys so much. And Neve, we're going to be here to support you every step of the way we can. All right.
Thank you. And good luck. And good luck.
Congratulations. Okay. Bye, darling.
Bye-bye.
Nahaja, do you know that DMAC, DMAC? I'm trying to make sure DMAC? Yeah, I think he used to sing rap once upon a time.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Our DMAC?
Yeah, I'm almost sure of it. I'm thinking now. I'm sure that he's sing rap. Should be interesting.
He could spot talent. She's really good. Did you hear? She's pretty good.
Yeah, it is nice. It's well produced.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that her bank account is lit. I don't know. My 10-year-olds would say the same.
No. Not especially after COVID.
Might be lit. Might be a contaminant, but it's
might be on fire. I gotta own it. It's definitely not lit.
Definitely not lit. Not with money in it. No. Even the piggy bank a little sick, a little anemic.
Yeah, the quarter's coming out.
Man, especially after they stole our pennies. Said there'd be no more pennies. So the piggy bank don't know what to do with itself. So Neve says her bank account is lit, but I think, listen, even with the writing of the songs, and as she gets better at storytelling, it's going to be fantastic to hear her. She's really good. She has some natural talent.
And it's a good time, and especially for this Women Appreciation Month regarding that. So I was kind of excited about that, especially boss move for women.
Yeah.
We need to encourage women to take advantage of opportunity.
Yeah, and I'm proud of her. I'm just really proud of her. And listen, what I want to do, y'all, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Hit Back, if you know of a young person who is doing something exceptional out of their comfort zone, it may not, you're just excited and proud of them. Let's be excited and proud together. CA's daughter is the world champion swimmer. And I don't know how to showcase that on my show. So I'm just going to say it.
Yeah. That.
She's a world champion.
I wanted you to spit a verse.
What?
Rap. Go, you do your rap thing.
My name is Peaches, and I'm the best, and all the DJs want to feel my echo.
Yeah.
The value of my show just went down tremendously.
Yeah, I see people just logged out.
I think I lost sponsors. So
there you go.
But we're not going to do that again.
The way you get Peaches from.
You don't remember? By the way, has anyone watched Coming to America 2? That joint was funny. Can I just say, Randy Jackson.
I don't plan to watch that again.
It was really
a waste of 2 hours.
That was really good. I just really
it wasn't.
All right. So since the show has devolved into CA and Haji time, wrapping up the day, right? Wrapping up the day. Someone saw you do the little beatboxing and thought you almost died.
I have, I'm good at that.
I actually thought we needed to get the defibrillator. It was really bad.
Oh, okay.
This weekend, as we've looked at it all, right? See, we've come through last week, this weekend, and what stands out, unfortunately, was that we've had quite a bit of lives lost last week, this week, right? This weekend. Accidental and intentional, I guess, right? And wondering, should we be, even in our discourse, having a different tone, right? Like, should we, what can we do as citizens? And I wanted to ask you that from on Saturday when we had that chat. How do we as citizens try and change the tone or the conversation when it comes to how we are dealing with each other and national morale? I feel as if there needs to be something that we must do for ourselves, not waiting on government to figure out how to lift national morale.
But there's definitely need the community leaders to come out, and especially the social scientists, to give commentary on what exactly is happening and what is wrong, and ideas to how to address it. We tend to go back to and demand that government fix things and passing on the buck of the responsibility to them. But clearly there is something wrong culturally with us, or if it's not wrong, then something needs to be adjusted. It's easy to say we need conflict resolution. It's easy to say that perhaps we need to be more careful on the seas, on the boats. But sometimes we just need to sit back and analyze what went wrong, identify what went wrong, and then give solutions so it doesn't happen again. I heard there was a tragic boat accident on Eleuthera, where beautiful young ladies and a gentleman died. I don't know what happened or what went wrong.
Needlessly, yeah.
And I would like to have a clear explanation, and then maybe a tutoring for other boaters to say, well, just don't do this, right? We heard about for the past month, it seems like every day is a shooting. Every day is a shooting. So clearly there's something wrong there. And we need to have someone to reach out and talk to the community and say, hey, something is wrong. We need to address it. And so we don't have to go down this path again. This looks like it's going to be a triple digit number if it continues like this in terms of murders. And I am concerned. And I expect community leaders and persons in power to at least address it.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that. I think there has to be some sort of national where all of us realize that we're in this together, and that but for the grace of God go I, right? Like this could be anyone, and we're losing people needlessly. We need to figure out some sort of structure and ways to deal with mourning, man. We dealt with 181 people dying from COVID as a national day of mourning? Have we dealt with hundreds of people dying from Dorian? Have we nationally, figured out the ways in which to move forward? This has been 2 years of tough sledding. 2 years of tough sledding. And March is the month. On the 17th will be the day when we celebrate a year of being in a COVID protocol Bahamas. And so what is the memory of that? What have we learned in that? How have we grown? How have we changed? We know the changes, but it's a lot.
And I assume the Prime Minister will address the nation, and which is expected. And I'm hoping that his message is a message of hope, a message of comforting, message of what
no political rah-rah.
Yeah, and no what do you call it, gaslighting or throwing shade, but something to bring us all together. You say that we overcome, we did it together, and a celebration of life. We need to herald those persons who passed during COVID, and to make sure that we minimize that from this point move forward, there'll be no more loss of lives from COVID in general. So I'm hoping that that's a pledge, and that we can
I don't know if you can keep that pledge. I wouldn't make that pledge if I was him. I would just say that we're in the right direction. We are headed in the right direction as far as COVID and its issues, but we got to go. Time flies. Thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate you.
Always. It's a pleasure.
All right. You're listening to The Hit Back with Nahaja Black, everyone. Have a great day. We're out.